The Land of Raw, Chapter 33. Right, says Stella, hands on hips. Show us how it's done. We're all gathered on the dojo, minus the dragons, who Rose has packed off for a fly over Raw to give us more room. For the past couple of hours we've been trying to get the fake magic road to resemble the real thing. This is tricky. Beyond the obvious problem of no sea, we only have what's in the tangled forest to help us, plus the map Wyn and I made, and our memories. But as I study the bizarre obstacle course in front of me, I realise we haven't done a bad job. The most challenging parts of the road are all represented. The giant gaps between rocks, the tunnel, the narrow tightrope rock. We've even covered everything in soggy ferns to recreate the seaweed. We haven't made the last bit of the road, which no one has been along, and we're just hoping the Lost Girls don't get any nasty surprises when they reach it tomorrow. Ready? I ask Wyn. Ready, he cries. Then he goes charging along the first rock as if it's a race. Arthur cycled this one, he calls over his shoulder. Very cool, but also very foolish. I follow Wyn, feeling a bit of an idiot, as the Lost Girls shuffle along behind us, with Stella taking notes on the ground. We'll need to be quicker, she mutters, much quicker. Wyn and I slip and slide on a pretend seaweed, which is realistic, but which also makes the Lost Girls crack up each time it happens. Rose drifts along with them, a bit like she's in a dream. She's been like this all morning. There's one problem, I say, as I inch my way along the tightrope rock. It's still not wet enough. When Wyn and I went along the magic road, we were hit by waves on all sides. They made it hard to see, and some of them were so big they nearly knocked us off our feet. They crashed down on our heads like a ton of water, cries Wyn. Not a ton, I say, more like a big bucketful. After saying this, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised when a bucket of water is thrown in my face, followed by another and another. I drop to my knees on the tightrope rock, actually a plank of wood, and cling on. Hysterical giggles surround me. There was a bit less water than that, I say, as smack, another one hits me and I fall to the ground. Stella points at me. If this was for real, Arthur Trout, you would be dead right now. His body would be speared on a rock or being eaten by a shark somewhere in the bottomless ocean. She pauses for dramatic effect, then says, Arthur, stop lounging around. Everyone get back to the start. It's time for us to do this together. As a team. Team Raw. This makes Rose flinch with embarrassment, but she doesn't say anything. She knows Stella well enough not to risk offending her. Stella organises us into a line with me and Rose at the front, because we're the masters of Raw, and Wyn in the middle. On your marks, get set, get croaky, Stella cries, and we're off. It's a disaster. 3 girls fall off the rocks straight away. Wyn refuses to stay in line, and Rose simply goes through the motions, moving from obstacle to obstacle, but putting no real effort into it. When we reach the end, the big rock where Rose we will call the dragons, half the Lost Girls have been left behind. But we don't give up. We try again and again, and it does get better, but honestly, I'm not sure if it's good enough. Tomorrow we'll need to cross the magic road in under an hour, in the dark. Otherwise it will be a repeat of last time. Croaky will see us coming, and then we'll be trapped. Or, and this is something I don't want to think about, we won't be quick enough, and the tide will turn when we're only halfway across. We need to rest now, says Stella, surveying Team Raw, who are flopped all over the dojo, battered and bruised. Try to get some sleep. We set off at dusk. We stumble to our hammocks. The sun is bright, but it's shady under the trees, and Wyn instantly falls asleep. I lie on my back and stare up at the leaves. I try to rest, but it's hard. My whole body is fizzing with hopes and worries. But more than anything, I'm desperate to get going. Not long now, Grandad, I think. We're coming. I promise we're coming.